What's going on, y'all? This is the Face Mask Podcast, bringing you new fantasy content every day on YouTube. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. My name is John Alsace, and today I want to talk about my guy, Joe Mixon, again, because a report just came out from The Athletic's Paul Denner, in which he says he believes Bengals running back Joe Mixon will handle, quote-unquote, the largest workload of his career. Now, the Bengals have talked consistently this offseason about how they believe Mixon is better poised to be a three-down running back in the wake of Giovanni Bernard's release than ever before. That means more looks for Mixon as a pass blocker next to Joe Burrow, and more looks potentially as a receiver. Now, Mixon has a resume of being an excellent pass catching back dating back to his days at college, but that part of his game has never been fully unleashed or unlocked in Cincinnati, due largely to the presence of Gio Bernard. Mixon has topped out at 43 catches back in 2018 on 55 targets, although he was on pace for 56 targets for 56 catches through 6 games last season. Now, it's old news, but the Bengals cut running back Giovanni Bernard this offseason and only added 6th round rookie Chris Evans and undrafted rookie Puka Williams to the backfield so far. In the same report I mentioned above, The Athletic's Paul Denner went on to write, and I quote, "Tag an extra 15 to 20 receptions onto Mixon's previous totals by virtue of Giovanni Bernard being gone. You will see Samaje Perine give him a breather for maybe a series or two a game, and I'd expect Chris Evans to earn a portion of the pass situations as the year progresses. But for the most part, it will be all about Mixon," end quote. I know I'm hitting you with a lot of quotes, but Bengals offensive coordinator Brian Callahan was asked about his plans for a third down back this season, and this is what he had to say, quote, "I don't want Joe Mixon to leave the field, and I think he's up for that challenge," end quote. Now, there is one coach throwing a little bit of water on this fire. Head coach Zach Taylor did suggest that the 24-year-old would share the third down role, saying that the team doesn't need Mixon on the field for 75 snaps, a number reached by only one back last year, and that was Dalvin Cook in week 13. That's it. No other back hit that 75 snap mark. So that's not a metric that Mixon needs to hit for him to be an RB1. The Bengals running back is full go for OTAs after sitting out more than half the season last year with a foot injury. And a healthy Mixon is a good bet to set a new career high in receptions this year. Now, his underdog ADP is 15. So you're looking at middle of the second round for an RB that's almost a shoe-in for RB1 numbers, with more than a small shot at top 5. Let's look at the numbers real quick. He was the RB9 through 6 games last year, the RB11 in 2019, the RB9 in 2018. He's going to get about 20 to 30 more receptions a year, which is 10 less than the number that Gio provided, so that's technically a conservative number. He might be the most heavily used RB in the league next year, in competition with Saquon and McCaffrey for touch leader in the NFL. Let's look at touch leaders in the NFL. The NFL touch leader in 2020 was Derrick Henry, and he finished as the fantasy RB1. McCaffrey was the touch leader in 2019. He was the fantasy overall RB1. It was Zeke in 2018. He was the fantasy RB5. Bell in 2017. He was the RB2. David Johnson in 2016. He was the RB1. AP in 2015. He was the RB2. You get the point. At worst, you're a top 5 back if you're a touch leader in the NFL. Let's look at Mixon's touch pace. Mixon's touch pace for last season for a whole 16 games was 386 touches. The last 6 touch leaders in the NFL, if averaged out to exactly 386.1 touches. So Mixon was gonna hit the number that you need to hit, which is the average of the last 6 years of touch leaders in the NFL and what their touch numbers were. And he's gonna get more pass catching work. So if Mixon is healthy, it's not a question of whether or not he's gonna be an RB1. It's of whether or not he's gonna finish RB1 or be one of these touch leaders who finished more towards the back end of the top 5 RB spectrum, like Zeke did in 2018. And I just gotta point out that that's the outlier. In the other 5 years that we took into account, the touch leader in the NFL was either the RB1 or the RB2. So I know I speak about Mixon a lot. I know I just did a backfield breakdown on the Cincinnati Bengals, but digging into these numbers, I just had to come out and say, once again, that even my projections for Mixon last week were wrong. Mixon will finish top 5 this year if he's healthy for the whole season. And in the games where he's healthy, he has a shot for RB1 weeks, week in, week out. Even at ADP of 15, we're kind of sleeping on this guy. If you're lucky enough to have him fall to you in the middle of the second round, snatch him up and don't look back. That's my take, at least. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm blowing the speculation out of control? It's just coach speak and they're not going to run this guy into the ground? Or do you think, like me, that there's a chance that Mixon can finish as the RB1 overall and is a shoo-in for top 5 numbers next year? Put your thoughts in the comment section below. My name is John Alsace. Thank you for listening.